Good morning. Welcome to a gorgeous Tuesday morning. The snow outside is coming down outside the window. What can be more beautiful? The month of Kislev, gearing up to Hanukkah next week. So I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for joining Tanya Live. We're going to start off, of course, with giving tzedakah. So everyone grab a tzedakah box, put in anything you have, and say, Gedel tzedakah shemikareves ha'geula, that charity will hasten the geula. And now we will start with chapter Chaf. Put down anybody you would like our class to have in mind as we learn. So a few people I would like to mention today. For Refuah Shalema, we have Dorleah Bas Yafaliba, we have Chaya Bas Tikva Kela, and I have another name here, sorry. Chaim Shnezaman Yehuda, Ben Ayomi Henya, and everyone should, Chaim Shnezaman Yehuda Ben Hinda Yocheved. They should all have a Refuah Shalema, and we should only hear and share the Suras Tovas in this class. Before we start, if everyone could just I want to just get a feel of who's on. Oh, Ruth Bas Rachel, Rav Shomanocha Cohen Ben Fega Bracha. Okay, let me see if any other names we have here. Okay, feel free to put down any names. Okay, so before we start the class, because this is a Facebook Live and I don't see my friends here in front of me, can you jot down some of your feelings, how you woke up this morning? You saw the gorgeous day, the sun is out slightly here in Toronto, beautiful snow covering the ground. Just tell me how you're feeling. Put down here on the comments your feelings so I know exactly what mood I am addressing the class to today. Because today's class is chapter 33 in Tanya. And it is going to make you just constantly be happy. And if you're wondering how, put down your mood. Put down the first word that comes to mind when I ask you to describe your feelings today. Someone says she's sick of the snow. Hello, the snow just started in Toronto. You can't be sick yet. Okay. Grateful but daunting for a long winter. Yes, absolutely. Great to be with you. Same here, Clara. Feeling grateful for being alive. Thank you, Corinne. Okay. Happy. Lisa says good. Happy. Marcel, sad. My Natan is having Zapshare today and wish you were there to celebrate. Yes, Marcel. Yikes, I know. Mazel tov for that. We should celebrate Simchas. Carmela's grateful. Randy's content. Baruch Hashem, lots of going on, Becky says. So she says she's feeling good. Everything is on. Lisa's on. Okay. So we have a mix, and I think that's human nature. It's just a blend. You feel like you wish you were somewhere. Marcel's grandson's in Israel celebrating Upshare. She's not there, but then again, we're thankful that we're up and we're alive and we're healthy. And yeah, winter is daunting. It's going to be a few more months of snow. So there's so much emotions. The whole gamut is out there. And I want to take you back to Soviet Russia in the 1940s. My uncle, Mendel Futafas, was in jail. He was a prisoner for the typical Chabad reason why you're in jail. He was spreading Judaism under the rule of the wicked Stalin. And you know that religion, it was a taboo, and you could be thrown into jail. And he was actually thrown into prison for about 10 years. 10 years for prayer, for studying Torah, and for helping other Jews. And when Mendel Futafas finally was released from jail and joined his family in Israel, and then later in New York, he would farbring. Do you remember what farbring is? Farbring is getting together with like-minded people and sharing your feelings, sharing your desire to grow. And he repeated this story. I'm going to share it with you. So Mendel Futafas was my grandmother's brother. as to Goldie, that's my bubby, her brother. So I feel a tremendous connection to him. He was in jail, and he was in prison with mostly political prisoners. You know, Stalin threw anyone into jail that was against his ideology, against his beliefs. And the prisoners were devastated because their whole life was out there in university, being able to teach, being able to reach out to others. And unfortunately, they lost their essence. They lost their whole existence because they were in jail. They had no opportunity to teach. But Mendel Futterfass was always happy. He was always joyous. And that really challenged these prisoners. Like, what the heck are you happy with? We're stuck here in this disgusting gulag where we're beaten, we are abused, we are not having any of our pleasures in life. And what are you happy about? So what I'm going to share with you now, Fetch Mendel's outlook, was based on Tanya, today's Tanya. And I want you to realize for a moment that if you're going to internalize today's class and become your new mantra in life, I need you to be able to be mindful now, focused, just ignore the surroundings around you. If there's any noise or worries or concerns or trepidations, just block it out. Just for the next few minutes as we uncover why was my Uncle Fetch Mendel so excited every single day, even though he woke up in a Stalin regime in prison. So Fetch Mendel says like this. He says, your whole existence depends on your externals. You are intelligent, brilliant teachers, brilliant scientists, brilliant professors, and your whole existence and your whole joy in life depends on your opportunity to give, your opportunity to be out there in your teaching field, to get your salary, to be a macher in your field. He goes, a Jew, our whole existence is where we are now. You see, the whole purpose of a Jew's existence is to realize that Hashem is with you wherever you are. So, I am a teacher of Hasidic philosophy. I was out there in Leningrad. I was out there in different cities of Russia. Wherever I was, that's where I made my home for Hashem. I was able to teach. My uncle was also a very successful businessman. He goes, yeah. So when I had to go to business, make a lot of money, I was able to do that. But they took me into jail and threw me here into the gulag. So that means that right now, this is where I am. This is where my shluchus is, so to speak. When I was out there at work, I was with Hashem there at work. When I'm here in jail, I'm with Hashem here in jail. So the KGB and the Russian monsters, they can't take away where I am and where my potential is and where my tough kid, my purpose is. When I was at work, my tough kid was at work. When I was at home, my tough kid, my purpose was at home. When I'm in jail, my purpose is here in jail. So I'm happy equally wherever I am found. This is the most brilliant ideology to live with. And I'll tell you what I mean. The parak this week in chapter Lamed Gimel tells us that wherever we are, Hashem is there. Why? Because Hashem is everywhere. Now, you all know, and give me the thumbs up if you know the famous song, Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is truly everywhere. Up, up, down, down, right, left, all around, here, there, everywhere, that's where he can be found. You know that song. Your kids sang that song. Your grandchildren are singing this song. Maybe you were a teacher, you taught that song. If you know the song, give me a thumbs up. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs because a lot of us know this song. We were taught this song as kids, and we taught it to our kids. But what does it mean, Hashem is here? And this is a question I want to throw out to my students today. I want to know if you're ready to be challenged with this simple song, because so many times we sing a song with our children and we think, it's a kid's song. That's kiddie stuff. But you know, sometimes the real essence of who we are is revealed in a child's song. What does it mean? Hashem is here, Hashem is there. Does it mean that I am here? I'm sitting now in my living room, surrounded by pictures, light, mezuzahs, beauty of the nature in my background. And then Hashem is also with me? Or is Hashem here and I am in Hashem's existence? Seems similar, the words are similar. Is Hashem here in my existence? I allow him into my existence. Or am I in Hashem's existence? And where I am is part of Hashem's rays, Hashem's existence. What do you think? Put it down in the comments. I'm just curious. Which line of thinking are you? That you are in Hashem's existence, or Hashem is welcomed into your existence? I'm going to read some of the comments that you put down here. Good morning, Arlene. Good morning, Francesca. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Ava. Good morning, Allison and Corrine. Good morning, Elaine. Good morning, Hannah. Good morning, Monique. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Lena. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Ilana and Arlene. Brucha, good morning, Nicole. Okay, so Nicole says you are in Hashem's existence. Corrine says also we are in Hashem's world. Corrine says the same thing as Dorit. Francesca says I think Hashem is in all of our existence. So Tanya in chapter 33 is going to show us how we can be joyous every single day. Clara says both. Tanya, good morning. Lena says we are in Hashem's existence. So the truth is, I always believe that I live in this world, it's Hashem's world, but when I do a mitzvah, when I do godliness, I bring Hashem in. But I was enlightened last night when I was preparing for chapter 33 in Tanya. And I was pretty much overwhelmed with a thought that made me jump out of bed with a new awareness. And I want to share that awareness with you because it really dispels a lot of ways of thinking that I think, you know, typical Jews like us, sort of our outlook is that, you know, we bring Hashem into the world and Hashem is here, will you allow it? The Kotzker Rebbe was asked, where's Hashem? And he answered, where you allow Hashem in. But I think the Alter Rebbe sort of twists this whole story and makes it even more compelling. He says, Hashem is the world. Ein od milvado. There is nothing else besides for Hashem. And I'll give you two analogies and you could tell me which one sort of sits with you well. The first analogy I'll tell you is speech, right? Each one of us speaks. We all have this ability to speak. Before I say my words, where are my words? My words are in my thoughts. But before thoughts, they come from my emotions, right? So I have the ability to speak because I have my emotions create my thoughts, which allows me to speak. Is my speech separate from me? All right? Just give me in the comments. Is my speech separate from me? Clearly not. My thoughts are me. My thoughts are not distinct from me. Sometimes I say to myself, I couldn't help it, I said something. Or I couldn't help, it just came out of my mouth. That's not true. You could help it. We are in control of our speech. Speech is an extension of you, exactly. Speech is an extension of you. And because it's an extension of you, there is no reality to your speech. It is you. your words that emanated from your mouth. Well, Dorit will talk about thoughts we cannot control. We can't control, and that's something we learned about in the earlier Plotkin. But let's talk about speech. You said we can't control because speech are an extension of us. Nothing is said without me allowing those words to leave my mind. Okay? And Allison says she thinks thoughts give rise to feelings and emotions, not the other way around. And hopefully we can address that as well today. What is it about speech? Speech emanates from our mouth, but it comes from our existence, which means it is not a duality. It's part of me. The same thing is if you look outside at the sun rays. You know, when you look at the sun, and I was driving yesterday, and these beautiful sun rays were coming out of the clouds. Now, imagine if one of those sun rays was yours, and you take sort of a circle, and you put it around that sun ray, which is yours, okay? Come with me on this. And you take a rocket ship, and you follow that sun ray all the way up to the sun. All right, let's say you're able to get into a rocket that's able to make it to the sun. You've been trained in this, and you take that circle around your sun ray, right? That sun ray that made it down to the earth, and you put a circle, and you follow that sun ray all the way up to the sun. Are you going to find that sun ray up in the sun? Give me a yes or a no. Are you going to find that sun ray up in the sun? You will not. Because up in the sun, there are no sun rays. Up in the sun, there's just one huge entity. It's only when the sun gives off its light, and as it extends itself down to the earth, then you see sun rays. But its sun rays are on its own are nothing. They are just an extension of the sun. And so when you go back into the sun, you realize, hey, there are no sun rays. Sun rays are just an extension of the sun. Our speech is just an extension of us. And the world is just an extension of God. Now, why that's so important for you to realize today, on Tuesday, in November, here on this world, why is that so important for you to remember is this? Because every single thing that happens in this world is happening in God's world. Ein od milvado. I want you to repeat those words with me now, because that is the mindfulness word we are learning today. Ein od milvado. There is nothing. Oh, Lisa, good morning. We're in December already. Okay. I thought it was December. I wasn't sure. COVID has totally took me out of my normal surroundings. Welcome, December. We are still in Kislev, so that I know one thing for sure. So this world and the mindfulness that we're learning today, Lisa and Corinne, is Ein od milvado. There is nothing beyond Hashem. You, your surroundings, your challenges, your joys, your good fortune, we are all an extension of Hashem. Because this world, although we see sun rays and we think it is separate from the sun, it's not. The sun ray has no existence outside the sun. The only reason why we see the sun rays is because it is so far from the sun. But the closer you get to the sun rays disappear. If you understand that analogy, give me a thumbs up so I'll know that I'm clarifying myself. Because why it's so important to remember this teaching is because each one of us is a sun ray of Hashem. As we get closer to Hashem, we are one with Hashem. And when you are one with Hashem, is there a reason to be anxious? Is there a reason to be worried and concerned and frantic and nervous and sad and angry? No. We are exactly where we're supposed to be. As my Vetter Mendel said, he's happy because he is right here, right now where he is supposed to be. So when you are where you are supposed to be, Yismach Yisrael, be happy about that, because you are exactly where you're meant to be. That worry and anxiousness that people go through in life because they're not sure if they're doing the right thing, if they're being the right person, if they married the right person, if they're in the right job, if they're living in the right house, if they're traveling to the right job, that worry, I don't have that worry. I don't have that worry. Because I know I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am a sun ray from Hashem, and where I am is where I am meant to be. Hashem is with me everywhere. That awareness, that consciousness is so comforting. Doesn't take away responsibility, my friends. It means you have to make the most of where you are right now. You have to make sure that you are doing the best of your abilities to make this moment count, to make this reality godly, to uplift it, but you're never in the wrong place at the wrong time. And if you are somewhere that seems terrible, make it good. Bring godliness in that space so that you are elevating that place. You are uncovering the godliness in that place right now. You know, many of you might be following this incredible guy by the name of Yuri Dukes. In fact, I say Tehillim for him every single Tuesday online. I say Tehillim for him every day. I bake challah on Thursday for refuah shleim of him. He is the longest COVID patient. He has been in the hospital since March. When he recovered from I think he was intubated, and when they were able to actually remove some of the pipes that were giving him breath and oxygen, he was so optimistic, and every single day he sends out messages to those of us that are following him. And his wife, Sarah, what a tzaddikus, they keep giving the message that we are exactly where we're supposed to be. Hashem is with us. We are not worried. We are here because we are to have to be in this hospital. And then he was transformed to another hospital. And he says, I am in this hospital because I have things to uncover and reveal in this hospital. I mean, to be in such a compromised state of health. And he has a beautiful wife and 6 beautiful children. They should be well and healthy. And every day, instead of him grouching and grumping and being pitied, he keeps telling everyone that's watching him, I am where I am supposed to be. And all of you, make your day holy and godly, because you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Can you imagine? He has all these machines connected to him. In fact, he went home Erev Shabbos and he was taken right back to the hospital because now he has liver failure. And he's still positive. Now, you can't say that this guy is high on something. This is a man that lives with the teachings of Chassidus every single minute. We can sometimes be stuck in traffic. Our car could have a problem, a mechanical problem. We have to waste 3 hours at the mechanic. We have to dish out $300 for something silly, and we're just so frustrated. Oh my gosh, what a pain in the neck. What a bummer. What a crazy day. But if you stop for a second and say, Ein od milvado. Hashem is here in this world. He's here right now. He's right around me. I am in his world. And you have what is called Achdus Hashem. You are completely connected and realizing that you are not independent of Hashem even for 1 second. Everything is divine providence, and everything within us today is full of Hashem. Don't be oblivious to that wonder of being in God's presence every single day. Every moment. You know, the analogy that the Alter Rebbe gives in Tanya is an analogy of a king. He calls up a commoner in the city, and he says to him, "Hey, Shmerel, I'm coming to visit the town, but I want to stay in your house." And, Shmerel isn't a commoner. I mean, he has basically a little house, a hut, but the king wants to stay in my house. Imagine if the king keeps staying every day. He's in Shmerel's house, and every day Shmerel or Jack, whichever commoner you want to think about. Every day Jack wakes up and he says, "Oh my gosh, oh my God, I can't believe Hashem is in my house." And he pinches himself. Goes, "Oh my God, I'm going to get up for now breakfast. I'm going to make him like eggs and bagels. I'm going to feed the king. He is in my house." This is incredible. He can't believe it. And every day the king says, "Hey, Jack, is it okay if I stay one more day?" And Jack goes, "Oh my gosh. Yes. King, stay in my house one day." I mean, there are people that walk around in Hollywood, and there's a strip there that, I don't know if you've ever been on that strip, where it's a big place for stargazing. You'll bump into the big who's of Hollywood, and people are out there waiting, and they're there with their little paper and pen so they can get their autograph. And it's like, wow, I took a picture of myself and this Hollywood actress and that Hollywood actor. And like, really? He gave you 2 seconds of his time, and you've been elated for a week. You've posted that he signed your basketball or he signed your piggy bank. I don't know what. You were thrilled. Alachas kama v'kama. How much more joyous we should be, because every day we are stargazing. Every day we are on Hollywood Boulevard, and we are in awe because Hashem is right there, and he's signing my basketball, and he is with me. He's in my house, and I made him pancakes this morning. I know it seems like a very mundane example, but Tanya was written for us. It's called the Sefer Shel Beinoni. It's written for us because we are commoners. We are very simple people in this big, huge world. And sometimes we look outside and we can't imagine that Hashem would care about me. Me. There's a fellow, and I think I might have shared this story. If I did, you can give me a comment or just give me a thumbs up. This fellow that was raised in an observant home, but unfortunately he lost his path. And he was traveling around with a lot of rock stars, and he began to dress like them. He put on that leather bomber jacket, tattooed his arms with those cowboy boots and the cowboy hats. And he's traveling around with these guys, and after a while, you get sick of some ridiculous physicality and just materialism all the time, just drugs and drinks. I mean, really, that's not a life. And so he started researching his soul. And first he went into Hinduism and Buddhism, and then he realized, you know what? The truth of life is in my own religion. And he came back to Judaism, and the first place he wanted to visit was the Rebbe. And made his way to 770, and when he gets there, he wants to ask for an audience. But we both know you couldn't get into an audience of the Rebbe just like that. There were hundreds of people waiting for audiences. This is the days when the Rebbe would take someone into a private audience called the Yechidus, which I'll tell you about one day. I was very blessed to go in with my family as a child to the Rebbe's audience. One day I'll tell you that. But this guy wanted to see the Rebbe today. They said, you know what, don't worry about it. Why don't you just stand outside 770, and when the Rebbe comes in for Mincha Ma'ariv, you will approach him and ask him for a blessing. And here's this guy, cowboy hat, leather bomber jacket, doesn't really look too much like a chassid, but he's standing outside, and it was a freezing winter day in January. And he approaches the Rebbe and he asks one question. Rebbe, Avu is Gott. Where is God? And the Rebbe shows him with his hands. Umitum. You know what umitum means? Everywhere. He says, but Rebbe, vu. He wants more of a direct answer. But Rebbe, vu. Well, umitum, vu is the... And the Rebbe continues again, umitum. And finally, the Rebbe points at him straight at his heart. And the Rebbe says, in dir, by sich allein, in you. God is in you. And I think, my friends, Tanya class is not just a class of philosophy. Hasidism is not just an abstract teaching that you learn on Tuesday and you close the book and you walk away and you get on with your day. Hasidus and Tanya is about transforming our everyday life. This should transform your life so that when you finish today's shiur, your Tuesday is different. And your experiences today will be different. And your interaction with everyone you meet should be different. And when your spouse comes home from work, that should look different. And when your friend calls you on the phone, your reactions should be different. Because just knowing that Hashem is in you and that we are but just a sun ray in Hashem's beautiful world and that we are where we are meant to be every single minute, every single day, that alone should give us joy and should give us the ability to transform our mundane actions. Our mundane actions are not mundane. They are part of Hashem's greater purpose, part of your tafkid. How many people ask me, how do I know what my tafkid is? If I knew what my purpose is, I'd be so much happier. You want to know what your purpose is? Look at where you are, where you're living, who you're married to, who your children are. They, my friends, are your tafkid. They are your purpose. Don't go looking around some great big deal in Africa and think you have to take a trip across the world to help some children on the African islands. Look at where you are right now and make that place better. Make that place more joyous, more holy, more inspirational, more optimistic. So what's going to be our challenge for this week? I'd like to leave us all with a challenge. Our challenge this week is to see the next few days until next Tuesday through the lens of being in Hashem's world. And that everything that we see and hear and happens is part of a purpose, part of a greater purpose, and it's part of your tafkid. And embrace it. Arlene says your kids, your hubby, your grandkids are your life. Exactly. Embrace your tafkid. Embrace your world. Because Hashem is with you, like the commoner who never expelled God from his home, and God never left his home. This is Hashem's world. You and I are in it. I want to wish you a great day, a day of joy, bliss, beauty, godliness, a day of hope and joy and love, and wishing you a great day in December. Go for it. Take care. Bye-bye.